One of these 5 herbs can literally not be grown from seed. And most gardeners aren't going to find out until they've wasted weeks waiting for them to sprout. Today we're starting Marjoram, Endive, Oregano, Chamomile, and Tarragon. Indoors, and I'm going to walk you through how to handle each one of them, even the one that most people get wrong. Now these aren't your typical beginner herb garden picks, and that's kind of the point. These are the herbs that a lot of gardeners will skip just because they seem tricky, or they just don't know where to start. Here's the thing, most of these are a lot easier than you think, as long as you know the specific needs for each one, and they're all different. Some want to be buried, some don't, some germinate fast, and some take their sweet time. We're going to go through each one. We're going to give you the setup, the soil, and the timeline, everything you're going to need to start these guys off right. Let's get into it. First up is Endive. If you haven't grown it before, you're missing out because it is a cool season green. Like lettuce's more interesting cousin. Slightly bitter, great in salads, and a lot more heat tolerant than most people give it credit for. Here's what you need to know about starting Endive from seed indoors. Barely cover them. We're talking about 1/8 of an inch. Just sow them on top, give them a light dusting, water them in, bada boom, you're good to go. Now this is a cool season crop, so you're not going to need a heat mat for them. They are very cool loving. Room temperature is perfect, somewhere around 60 to 65 degrees. They will germinate up at 70, but 60 to 65 degrees is of course ideal. If you start pushing up towards 75 or hotter, germination gets a little more spotty than we would like. You're probably going to see sprouts in about 5 to 10 days. They're pretty quick. Once they sprout, go ahead and get them up underneath those grow lights because Endive will stretch quickly, and once they do, they are really weak transplants. And of course, you're going to want 12 to 16 hours of light a day. Now here's the thing that most people aren't going to talk about when it comes down to Endive, and that is its tendency to bolt. So you can typically get a good solid 75 degrees out of it before it'll start showing signs of bolting and stress. But what it wants to do is shoot that flower stalk up, and once it does, it's so bitter you don't want to eat it. The super play here is going ahead and starting it indoors, giving it a good jump start. You want to be able to transplant this about 4 weeks before your last frost date outdoors. That'll give you a couple harvests before it gets too hot. Also, don't be afraid to succession sow coming into the fall because it is a great fall and winter gardening crop. And one more tip, there are few crops that you're going to see me actually thin throughout a season, but this is one of them. For some reason, when they start crowding each other, they get really leggy, and they're just not a great head of Endive. So what I like to do is keep them about 8 to 10 inches apart and let them just spread out. They will sprawl really massively. It's actually quite impressive, and they will produce really good salad mixes. It adds that little bit of bitter crunch to the edge of your Burpee Bib, Black Seed Simpson. So awesome for a spring mix, also great for a fall mix. And make sure when they are up and you are ready to put them in the garden that you harden them off because they do not like being dropped in the ground immediately without it. You'll end up with very crispy Endive, and it'll take them a few weeks to bounce back out of it. Next one is going to be Sweet Marjoram. This actually came out of a Nature's Edge survival herb kit we got. I wish I had a better seed packet for you, but it is what it is. And if you've already grown it and you're cooking with it, you already know that it's one of those ones that can add so much more flavor to everything you cook with it. It's warm, it's floral, and it's a little bit sweet. And it's a lot more delicate than its cousin Oregano, but we'll get to more of that here in a minute. Same light seed starting mix. Marjoram seeds are tiny. I doubt you can even see them from all the way over there. So you want a fine, even surface to work with, straight out the gate. Big red letters right here. Do not bury at all. They do not like it. You're going to go ahead and surface sow these. Gently press them into the soil. Give them a good light mist. Don't go heavy on the water because you will displace them towards the edges. And if they fall down on the sides, they will not germinate. So super light misting and call it good. 100% needs light to germinate. Now Marjoram likes it warm. This is one that will actually benefit from a heat mat. Not saying you 100% need it. I don't own any heat mats, but it will help. I do some, whenever I have the space, put it closer to the heat source when I'm germinating. You're going to want to square 65 to 70 degrees for maximum germination, but if you're running 70 in the house, it'll germinate. Now you got to be patient when it comes to germinating marjoram. It's going to take about 7 to 14 days, so just let it do its thing. Be patient, wait, don't give up on it because it's going to surprise you. Now with this being a surface home, we don't use the plastic domes, none of that stuff. You want to keep it moist, but not soaked. So what I like to do is I come through in the morning time, give them a little drip. You don't want anything super carried away. Like I said previously, seed displacement is a thing, but just give it a light misting and just make sure you have, each time you walk by there, you just, if it looks like this, that's probably not going to cut it. If it looks like this, you're probably doing something right. And here's my major tip for marjoram: oversow. Don't be scared, seeds are tiny. Plant way more than you think you need. Germination rates aren't always great with marjoram, so go ahead and spread an extra layer of seeds through there more than you think you need. You'd rather have too many than not enough. And when it's time to transplant, treat them gently. Marjoram roots are delicate, so don't rough them up. All right, it's time for oregano. So if marjoram is the refined cousin, oregano is the one that shows up to the family reunion and just does not care what anybody says or thinks. And good news, oregano is actually one of the easiest seeds you can start indoors. Soil needs to be light and well draining. Same story as everything else we've talked about thus. And just like marjoram, you're going to want to surface sow, press it down, give a little extra seed there, call her good. Room temperature is fine, 65 to 70 degrees. A heat mat is optional, but oregano really don't care. So when it comes down to germination, it's going to take 7 to 14 days. You may see some sprouts earlier, but that's the relative number. Once you see those sprouts start emerging, go ahead and get them under that grow light as quick as you can, because oregano seedlings are super tiny, so they need all the light that they can get. And honestly, once they start sprouting, you're going to look at them and be like, man, is this thing going to do anything? Be patient. They're slow growing at first, but once they get going, they are going to shoot like a rocket. Now, here's the thing about oregano. It's from the mint family, and if you've got experience with any type of mint, you know where I'm going with this. Once you establish it in your garden beds, it is going to spread. Still, you may want to consider keeping it in containers or watching it like a hawk. Don't put it right next to something delicate because it is not going to play nice. It's going to take over. Also, and this is for the people who will be growing both marjoram and oregano this year, the seeds look similar, the sprouts look similar, and it's going to take about 6 weeks before you can actually tell a serious difference between the two. So just label everything, save yourself the heartache of finding out you done mixed them up by the end of the season. Now we need to talk about tarragon, and this is where things are going to get interesting. Because if you bought tarragon seeds, there's a pretty good chance you might have a problem. Here's the deal, there's two types of tarragon, French and Russian. French tarragon is the good stuff. It's the one the chefs use, the one with the sweet anise flavor that everyone loves. It's what you want to be growing. Here's the honest truth. Nobody hang me in the comments. French tarragon cannot be grown from seed. There, I said it. If you want to spend the time to figure out how to do it, just know as regular gardeners, we probably ain't going to pull it off because it produces sterile flowers. No viable seed. If you bought a packet of tarragon seeds, you've got Russian tarragon. And it'll grow, but the flavor is weaker, a little bit more grassy, and not near as aromatic. A lot of people are going to plant this thinking they got French tarragon, and then they're going to end up being disappointed. Let's talk about what you can do with what you got. If you have Russian tarragon seeds, you can go ahead and start them indoors. Another tarragon I do have to add, because I just found out about it yesterday, is Mexican tarragon. So you probably got Russian tarragon or Mexican tarragon, but the holy grail of tarragon is, of course, French. But we can start the Russian or Mexican tarragon just like we do any other tarragon. That's super weird, but I'm going with it. Same seed mix as we've been talking about the whole time. Light, well draining, not a bunch of chunky bits in it. Surface sow. Tarragon needs light to germinate. Are you seeing the pattern here yet? A lot of herb seeds don't want to be buried. They just don't like it. Room temperature around 60 to 70 degrees. 10 to 14 days for germination, sometimes longer. There's no Russian tarragon. If you want tarragon super fast and you want a French tarragon, go ahead and check out Google. Get you some live plants or some cuttings or a root division. When seedlings are a couple inches tall, you're going to want to thin them out for the simple fact they do not like being crowded and they need air to breathe, or else they're going to take a big old dookie on you. And like I said before, if we're wanting to get the good French tarragon, find root clipping or cuttings, find clippings, find live plants, something like that, because that's the only way you're going to get it, unless a whole bunch of stuff. I've looked into it. It's way more work than it seems to need to be. But in knowing that, it's a good little piece of advice to have in your back pocket. So when you go to your local seed purchasing place, whether that be a box store, nursery, whatever, and they're trying to sell you French tarragon seeds for $5 for a little package of them, they probably don't have your best interest in mind while they're trying to sell you those seeds. And the last one is chamomile. It's a German chamomile. And this is definitely my wife's favorite herb that I grow every year because it's super useful and super beautiful, all in one little white flower. You can make tea from it, you can use it as a companion plant, and pollinators love them. It checks every box for a synthetic-free garden. Now we're talking German chamomile here because that's typically the one you're going to grow from seed every year because it's an annual. You also have Roman chamomile that is a perennial, but most people will be starting German chamomile. Light seed starting mix. As per usual, definitely got a solid pattern going here. Keep it light, keep it loose. This one is hypercritical. Make sure you're taking notes of it. Do not bury chamomile seeds at all. You want to surface sow them, press them in, water them, call it good. You're going to want it to be 65 to 70 degrees. Room temperature is fine. A heat mat is also fine, but not super necessary. Your germination is going to take about 7 to 14 days. You're going to see tiny little sprouts coming up. And when you are sowing these, go ahead and oversow just a little bit. They don't mind being crowded. So far as I can tell thus far, we've done multiple 6 counts of them, and they seem to not mind it at all. And then we put them up in her big old flower planters plus out in the garden. They seem to do great, even planted in a cluster together like that. Keep the top soil layer moist, not soaked. Light mistings. Don't go with a heavy watering because just like all the other ones, if you water heavily, it's going to disperse seeds. It's going to go down the side. They're going to get covered, and then they won't germinate. Once you start seeing sprouting, go ahead and put them underneath the grow lights full time from the very beginning. Since they are so tiny, they definitely need as much light as physically possible. Here's my big tip for chamomile. Don't transplant them too early. In the beginning, they're going to look very delicate and weak, and honestly, they are. Give them a good solid 4 to 6 weeks indoors before you even consider hardening them off. And once they're outside, chamomile is pretty self-sufficient. So just put it by your vegetable and let it do its thing, and it'll bring you great joy every time you go out there. Before we wrap this thing up, let me hit you with the 5 biggest mistakes most people are going to make when they're starting these herbs. Number 1, mentioned it 5 times in a row, burying the seeds. Surface sow, let them rock. 2, overwatering. Light mistings, enough where you can see it's damp, but that's about it. These seeds are tiny, so they are super easy to drown. 3, not labeling trays. This is one that I am super guilty of from seed starting, and then turn around and get super guilty of it when it comes to transplanting out to the garden. Luckily, the wife's been writing everything down in a book as I go, row by row, sectioning it off, so on and so forth. So write it down, label the trays, because these are all going to look the same when they start germinating, and misplacing them is going to really upset you later on. 4, thinking tarragon seeds are French tarragon. They are not. Get a live plant, be happy. And 5 is giving up too early. Some of these are going to take a while to germinate. Some of them are going to sprout overnight. It's a hit or miss. I go by the rule of thumb, if I plant them today, which is March 19th, I will not do anything with these until at least April 19th. I like to give them a good solid 30 days to show me their stuff. If they don't, boom, we recycle the soil, start over again. That's 5 herbs, started the right way, no synthetic anything, just good soil, good light, and a little patience. Which one are you most excited to grow this season? Go ahead and drop it in the comments. And if you want more honest grow tips, go ahead and subscribe to Carter's Gardens, and we'll see you in the next one.